Mexico City. The travel posters say it's a great place for a vacation, but this was no vacation for me. As a police officer working undercover, I was after an American narcotics ring. With the cooperation of the Mexican authorities and some luck, I had a lead. It took me to a dive called the Puebla Cafe.
You appreciate what I'm showing you, Senor Martel.
The dancer's legs are too heavy and you can make a jumping bean do the cha-cha, but that's not what I'm buying.
Beautiful. Right on the beat. I cannot sell you what you wish to buy.
What kind of double talk you giving me? I get the word you're the guy who sells the stuff. You set up the meet for what? To say no?
It's better to get a no than a bullet in the head, eh, senor? The American and the Mexican governments are working very closely now. It is possible you are a narcotics agent.
Look, buddy boy, you've kept me waiting for 2 days. Let's stop playing games.
All right. No more games. I cannot sell you an ounce.
Okay, buddy boy. You just kissed away 10 grand.
Wait.
Oh, I've touched you.
The money, you have it here?
All in one place.
Let me see.
Quiet! We're in the wrong place. Let's go.
What's going on? That's the American. Let's get him. We will never get him now. At least we got 2 of them. Get him to the car. It's all over. Captain, Lieutenant Ramirez. The American undercover officer helped Carlos Lopez to escape. No, sir, no trouble. The plan worked perfectly.
As you say in your country, slick as a whistle, Senor Atkins.
We have another saying, Captain. The game isn't over till the last out. As a wholesaler, Carlos Lopez is important, but he's only the first out.
Tell me, when can we expect to hear from your undercover officer again?
I wish I knew. We do know that a new supply of narcotics reaches the States the middle of each month. That would put the buyer somewhere in your city now.
Chihuahua, that does not give your man much time, eh?
With little luck, it's time enough. Once the undercover man gets next to the buyer, we hope it's only a matter of days until he knows who the distributor in the States is. That's the baby we want.
Senor, with people who traffic in narcotics, life has no value. And the, what do you call him?
The tightroper?
He is now without protection.
When a tightroper takes a job, he carries the risks in one hand and luck in the other.
Excuse me, senor, but this one carries my prayers also.
Cops really shake you up, don't they, buddy boy?
Yes, and I can see you are known and wanted by the police. It would be dangerous to be seen with you.
Right. So here's 10 grand. You give me 2 kilograms of H and we won't have the displeasure of each other's company.
I cannot send to you or anyone else.
Why not?
Because those are my orders.
Orders? I thought you were a big man, Carlos. Look, forget it. I'll find my own wholesalers.
You will not, senor. You will not even find out who they are. I'm the only one who knows them, and they will not deal outside the organization.
You sound like a scared man.
I am a cautious one. I will not allow you to interfere.
Now, why did you want to see the color of my money at the bar?
My friends and I were going to take it from you.
Now, you listen to me and listen good. The stuff is here I came to buy, and I'm buying. Now, you tell that to your organization. You're a lot better with the jumping beans. I knew that Carlos took his orders from an American named Larry Mason. Carlos would give him a full report on me, but Mason wouldn't let it stop there. The approach was old but effective. She was American, and a knockout.
A girl could become an old maid waiting for you to make a play.
Well, I'm the bashful type.
I'm shy, too.
It isn't very...
I had a feeling we'd hit it off.
I've got that same feeling. You travel alone?
I am now. I had a date, but the crumb didn't show up.
He must be thick between the ears.
Oh, he could be dead between the ears for all I care. The only trouble is I've run up a little bar bill.
Well, allow me.
Oh, I couldn't. But I would appreciate it. Do you dance?
If I said no?
I'd teach you.
I'd be willing to learn.
Shall we? Dance?
You got to start somewhere.
I said I'd teach you. You've got some things to teach, too.
How fast do you learn?
Oh, I'm the slowest, honey. In the car, baby. You're gonna get some more lessons.
How could I know the police were so close to him?
Maybe you couldn't. But it could happen again. And the next time, you might not get away. That's why the big man in the States wants you to give me your source and your pickup station.
Oh, of course, senor. Then what is Carlos? Nothing. What happens to Carlos? Everything. No, senor.
You sound like a fool. It's only for our protection. I'll still buy from you.
But this way, you give me protection.
Yes?
Me, darling.
Coming, Mona. I'm sorry. I'm still tied up. How's the party going?
Boringly. 3 men just came in asking for you.
Oh, yes. There's some investors Senor Lopez suggested I see.
I thought this was a pleasure trip.
And it will be, darling. Send the men in. And keep a drink cold for me.
I'm up to here with that senorita Crandall turning up her once-rich nose at me.
You're not her type, Lopez.
No, senor. She is not my type. She's no longer rich, and very soon she will not be beautiful. I give her to you with my compliments.
Now, you listen to me. The Crandall name is just as important to us as your material, and don't you forget it. Come in. Mr. Martell, I presume?
Mr. Larry Mason, I'm sure.
So you know me.
Playboy, gigolo, or leech, depending upon where you stand.
And just where do you stand?
Yes, and you pick up the marbles.
Now, you tell me, or you'll pick up a handful of teeth.
Which I will knock out.
All right, now that we've all proved how tough we are, what's this all about?
Just a little tip. I need Lopez here. I don't want him in trouble. You're loaded with us, so stay away from him. Adios, Mr. Martell.
See you soon.
Make sure he finds his way out.
Keep going, senor.
Without stopping for a drink with the hostess, where are your manners, Carlos?
In my pockets.
Even you're not that stupid, Carlos. Join me. I had recognized Crandall when I came in. Society background, heiress, international playgirl. Even though she had tarnished the Crandall name a bit, she didn't figure to be part of a dope ring. The same as Miss Crandall, please.
Since you seem to know me, I'm sorry I can't return the favor.
Joe Martell. But I'm afraid your friend doesn't think it's a favor.
He's not my friend. Just one of my fiancé's business associates.
Well, I hope you have a higher opinion of me when I become an associate.
You say very funny things, senor.
Do you think that's funny, Miss Crandall?
Business bores me, especially the investment business.
The investment business?
Say the investment business.
I don't remember inviting you to stay, Martell.
Oh, that's all right, Mason. I'll forgive you this time. Good night, Miss Crandall.
Good night. Mr. Martell seems to have made an impression.
He did. A bad one for him. Keep my drink cold. Drink.
Are you sure you were not followed?
No one follows Carlos Lopez.
Are you sure?
I said yes. It all came in?
5 kilograms.
What quality?
La mejor, the best yet. Wait till you see it. There's a fine grain.
And they will simply have to pay more.
Good. Our take will be bigger.
Martell.
So, Lizard, you bring in another, then lead him to us.
All right there, muchachos. You were a little too quick, my friend. Carlos wasn't double-crossing you. This is going to make things real simple. Everything remains the same, except I take Carlos' place.
You only think so, senor.
You don't know the buyer. I do.
as you said, senor. You taking Carlos' place?
I want a list of everybody who delivers to you. Tell them that Joe Martel is raising their cut 5%.
Si, senor Martel.
Carlos has your money in his coat. Get it before you bury him. See you tomorrow.
Martel.
Hello, Mason.
You outside. I hope you've had a good career because it's going to be a short one.
You me and you're out of business.
We'll see about that. Beg Martel.
I'm your new wholesaler.
You're a dead one.
So is Carlos.
Carlos?
Dead. And I've taken over. I know the suppliers and the pickup station. Oh, you don't have enough money here for my stuff, Mason. Prices have gone up 5%.
You're lying.
Then shoot. But remember, when Carlos doesn't show up, the top man's going to be real unhappy with you.
If you got the stuff, prove it.
After we make a new deal.
A new deal?
And Carlos didn't have brains or ambition. I have.
Just what is that supposed to mean?
The suppliers play rough. It's tough on the nerves. So it's got to pay off. I want to see the top man about a piece of the big take.
You're out of your mind. Wait.
Don't waste my time, Mason.
Suppose you give me the stuff and I take it back to the U.S. with me. I'll give the big man your proposition.
The stuff stays with me, but I'll be in the States the day after tomorrow. Arrange a meet with Mr. Big.
Impossible. All right. I don't guarantee a thing.
Where?
Mona Crandall's apartment, Los Angeles. And Martel, you better have the stuff or you'll join Carlos.
And Carlos will meet an old friend, because you'll be there with me. The Mexican and American border authorities had let me carry the heroin through to Los Angeles, where I was to meet Mason. The meeting was to be at Mona Crandall's apartment. Apparently, she was the front. Mason operated behind the safety of the Crandall name. So far, I knew the source and the smugglers of the narcotics. But the man I still had to reach was Mr. Big, the distributor. When I got him, the case would be locked up.
No, sir. He's not here yet, but I do expect him in a minute. Oh, no, sir. I got her out of the apartment hours ago. There's someone at the door now. Oh, yes, sir. I'll handle it all right. Well, it's about time.
Hey, you sound anxious. That's good.
Did you bring the stuff?
We haven't made a deal yet.
You're pushing your luck, boy.
I thought the man was going to be here.
You didn't think it was necessary to come. You can tell me your proposition.
Very simple. I want 20% of the distribution.
The answer is very simple. You can stay on as wholesaler as long as you deliver at the usual price.
Or else?
Or else you can't run fast enough. I'm going to give you exactly 24 hours to come up with that 5 kilos of snow.
Do you handle the or else department, too?
Not usually, but in your case, I'd be glad to.
But don't forget to bring along some help. What do you suppose Mona Crandall would do if she found out you were only interested in using the respectability of her name?
You're grabbing at straws, Martel. You're scared, and I like it.
Have fun.
She'd do nothing. She's broke.
Broke?
Flat broke. Oh, she's a desperate woman, afraid of growing old. Being left alone, unloved. My investments pay for this penthouse, her way of life, and the Crandall name. Oh, I know Mona all right. She wouldn't do a thing to lose any part of it.
Well, it was just a thought.
Martel, you've got 24 hours to deliver, or you won't have enough of a head left to hold a thought.
You're going to learn about me, Mason. The hard way, maybe. But you're going to learn. Mona Crandall's part in the setup still wasn't clear to me. Was she just a foil for Mason's illicit operations? Or was she a desperate, penniless woman who would even smuggle dope to regain the fortune she had thrown away? There was one way to find out. If she was greedy for money, I would make her an offer she couldn't refuse. And if she went for it, she'd give me the name of the distributor, Mr. Big. I'd asked her to come to my apartment, and she was curious enough to keep the appointment.
You said you had something important to say. Will you please say it so I can leave?
This is worth a small fortune. Half of it's yours if you come in with me.
You must be sick or drunk, Mr. Martell. I don't need you or your money.
Oh, you can drop the act, baby. You've chopped the Crandall fortune down to a flock of zeros. Mason's been picking up the tab.
I don't have to listen to this.
No, you can go on being in business with Mason and end up in the cold without a dime.
I'm not in business with Larry or anyone else.
Well, you're in business all right, baby, only you don't know it. Mason's been hiding behind the Crandall name. Not that I blame him. I want to do the same thing. Only I'm willing to split 50-50 with you.
I thought so. Larry has you over a barrel, hasn't he?
For a woman who's lived, you're not very bright. There is no investment business, baby. This is his business, Snow. Heroin.
Heroin?
Pure white fine grain and worth a fortune. And that's only for a month. Multiply that 12 times.
I don't believe you. You're lying. I won't even listen.
You make a trip down to Mexico about the same time every month.
It's business.
Sure, to pick up a delivery of heroin from Carlos, who was the wholesaler.
Was?
Sure, he had a little accident. Now I'm the wholesaler, and that's where you come in.
Oh, no.
First, I've got to find out who Mason's boss is. You can get that for me.
Man, I don't know anything.
Well, think for a minute. There's got to be a man he contacts first after each trip.
He sees many people.
But there's a man he contacts first before he does anything or sees anyone else.
There is someone. But that doesn't mean it's narcotics.
What's his name?
I won't tell you.
That's the only way we can make it, baby. I tip off the cops, they pick up Mason and this other joker, and we take over.
Stop it. I've met a lot of no goods in my life, but you're the lowest.
I'd been rough on Mona, but now I knew that Mason hadn't told her about the narcotics. She was confused and frightened, but if she would confront him with it, it could start a chain reaction that would lead right to Mr. Big. I still didn't know who he was, but Mona did. If she had the courage, she could call the police. But I couldn't count on it.
But why did you go to Martell's apartment in the first place?
Larry, what he said about narcotics, it isn't true. Please tell me it isn't true.
All right, so it isn't true. Does that make you feel better?
Martell was right. How can you? How can you do it?
We all have our own little talents, my dear.
Raymond Braddock.
What about him?
The moment we come back from a trip, he's the first person you call. I used to wonder about that.
Well, so you used to wonder about that.
Raymond Braddock. He is the boss, isn't he?
You know, he was right about you. He said you had a conscience. Not that it's going to do you any good.
Filth. All my life, I've attracted filth.
You listen to me. You're in this whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not.
Bungler. You can't even handle this, Martell. You spill your guts to Mona. Can't you do anything right?
Don't worry, I'll handle Martell. And Mona won't say a word. I guarantee it, Ray.
You'll guarantee it. You're an idiot. I want Mona Crandall brought here immediately. Now, the same goes for Martell and the Snow. Fail me, Mason, and I'll hang you by the ears. Bungling idiot.
Speak, Rover.
You win, Martell. Big man wants to see you. We can make a deal.
My way?
Of course, I told him you wouldn't have it any other way.
That's nice of you.
He wants you to bring the stuff.
That's not my way.
He's not going to like this.
I'm not asking him to. Lead, and I shall follow.
Now, there's nothing personal in this, Mona. I want you to know that. You see this one with the pointed wings, the red and black markings? He's very valuable. That's what all of life is. A set of values.
What would you know about values?
Oh, a great deal. Alive and ignorant of my business, you had one value. But now that you do know and hate me,
To the core.
your value changes. Alive now, you're worthless, Dick.
You'd like to see me fall on my knees and beg, wouldn't you? Well, I'm still that much of a Crandall.
I must admit you're taking it better than I thought you would.
Disappointed.
Worried. Maybe you know something I should. Do you?
Don't touch me. You filthy dope peddler. You're worse than vermin. Oh.
Keep her quiet. Get her over there.
I had a little trouble, Ray.
A lot of trouble, Ray. I expect much less from you.
No trouble, Mr. Martell. Over there.
A little higher to the left, huh?
You know, it's a pity I can't put all your nerve to some good use, Martell.
Oh, I'm available.
No. Oh, I could hold you down for a while, maybe, but you'd get growing pains again. And at risk. I can't afford to take any risk. That's why you and Mona must be cared for.
I don't get it. I make Mona a proposition, but when she comes running to you about it, you decide to kill her. That's a high price to pay for loyalty.
Wonderful. You made a conquest. Do you realize little Joe is trying to save you?
I'd rather die than get any help from him.
You'll die, dear. So will you. But first, you'll tell me what the stuff is and give me a list of the suppliers.
You're bluffing, and we both know it.
I never bluff.
I'm your only lead to those suppliers. You're not about to choke it off.
I could find your source. It would take time, maybe months. In this business, the demand is always greater than the supply, and months mean millions. I don't intend to lose millions.
Your story is the saddest I've heard. But 20% of your take could give it a happy ending.
You'll talk, Martell. You've got a streak of chivalry in you a mile wide. You won't want to watch this.
Wait. Everything you want's at my place.
Keep Miss Crandall company. Come on, Martell. All right, get the stuff. Now, the list of suppliers.
All right, boy. Now it's time for the or else.
Drop it. Get him out of here. Braddock, I've been waiting for this a long time. Move. Not you, Martell. I want to ask you some questions. Well, we got a frantic call from Miss Crandall. She said you had the narcotics here. It was just a guess, but I figure you were trying to draw Braddock to you.
You can guess like that for me anytime.
Be a pleasure. I'll take the list.
Oh.
When we arrived at your place and found you gone, we really got worried.
A few minutes after I called the police, Braddock's men came after me. I was frightened at first. Then I didn't care. I suddenly felt responsible for the way my name had been used. I wanted to die. How blind I've been, trying to hold on to a life of wealth, youth, and beauty. It was foolish.
We're grateful for what you did, Miss Crandall.
Thank you. What about Joe Martell?
There's no word on him.
He's the worst of the lot. He's worse than Mason, more dangerous than Braddock. He's more charming, more clever.
Yes, Miss Crandall. He's very clever.
The tightrope had gotten pretty shaky this time. I'm glad Mona Crandall came through. I keep thinking of something I read. A woman has wealth as long as she can look at her own reflection and see a heart. She has youth so long as the heart remains untarnished. And she has beauty so long as the heart reflects from her eyes. Someday someone would tell Mona Crandall that she has all three. I'm sorry I can't be the one.